Mi gente, ¿qué pasa? Hello, hello. Welcome. Bienvenidos to another episode, otro episodio de Hoy En Día TV. I'm your host and producer, Yessie Rodriguez. Bringing on to the stage my amazing co-host. We have Nadine Barton, actor, entrepreneur, author, etc. Dot, 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 right? Hey! How you
Hola,
doing, sis? Hola, ¿cómo
how are you?
estás?
I am good. I'm well.
Good. I am well also. Yes. Thank you. Thank you.
Happy Thursday. One more day before the weekend start.
I know, right? Can you believe it's already mid-month? Like the second week of August. Like this is bananas.
We are moving.
We are because that means already that summer is slowly creeping away. And summer, spring and summer, are like one of my, well, two of my favorite seasons because then we get into the fall, which don't get me wrong, I appreciate fall. I love like what it's about, the vibe, or you get all nice and cozy and layered up. But then we hit winter, we get all, have to be all in the blanket, drinking some chocolate, because it's freezing.
Right, exactly. So, I mean, what's your favorite time of the year? I love Christmas. I
Mhm.
love Christmas, but I don't like the cold because I'm an island gal. Uh, but summer, I love summer too because I like the heat. But this summer's been crazy with the rain. Like I know I talk about it all the time, but it's like since summer started, I don't think I've seen 1 week where it was just straight without any rain. How about you?
Really? Wow. Yeah, no, I agree with you. I love Christmas, but I echo your words. I don't appreciate the winter, like snow and slushiness and mm-mm. But I do love Christmas, like the theme, what it's about. Similar to Thanksgiving, getting together with family, right? Friends, loved ones. I would say the holiday that I do appreciate is Halloween because I like watching the scary movies.
I do not like Halloween, honey. No, ma'am.
No, aw. I like something about the movies. I think that's where, like, once it starts to transition over to the fall, I like the movie theme genres that come out. And especially for like the holiday, looking back at like the old school movies like Home Alone 1, 2, and 3, or like A Christmas Carol, the holiday theme movies. Those are always fun for me too, as well. But yes, I definitely
Mhm.
love me some summer, love me some spring. I appreciate fall and I appreciate winter
I
for what
just
it is.
love, especially here in Georgia, we have so many trees. I just love driving through, when it's fall and just see the leaves and the vibe. I love it.
Absolutely. And yeah, so shortly, people are going to have to start shopping for, well, if they're going to get gifts for people, because we're in August, September, October, November. Typically, we have like about a little over 4 months before we actually celebrate Christmas. Wow.
And my birthday.
And your birthday.
I'm a
Yes.
December girl. I'm a December girl.
That's right. Sagittarius.
That is
Yes.
right.
Oh, we got some comments here. Yes. So we have mom. Mom, thank you for supporting. Good evening, ladies. She didn't get that from her mom. That's so funny. What do you mean, mom? What did I get from you? Help me. Help us understand. That is hilarious. I love that. Yes. So Nadine, we've been coming across a lot of interesting articles and um, videos on social media that really have our minds boggled. I know you came across one recently about.
The
Well, there were
Facebook
several
scams.
that you came across. So
The,
spotlight some of the ones that you've come across because I have a few that I want to spotlight too.
the Facebook scams, the big one that's going around now.
Yes, yes. So tell us
But it's
more
so
about that.
weird. Before we started talking about that the other day, it is so weird. Like all of a sudden, I started getting a fluctuation of, I can't even say the word of what do you call it, friend requests, and I'm like, who are these people? So I always go down the rabbit hole, right? And I'm looking like, who knows who they're, how many followers they have, when did they create their? Because I don't play that. Because what they do is they'll take over your friend's account, or whatever, and then they'll try to friend you, and then they start messaging your friends and all this other things, so and send links in your inbox and your messenger so you could click on it because you are talking to you like they're your friend, which sometimes some people are so busy at work, especially the ones that are not on social media like we are on a day to day, and they don't notice that they're being scammed or their account is been taken over by some of these scammers. So a biggest one that I saw is the guy. He's talking about how these scammers, they're targeting like the elderly people, saying that, oh, my dad's going into the nursing home, and um they're selling this, we're trying to get rid of stuff, and that's the big scam right there. And now you thought that Zelle was supposed to be safe. Check that again, because the thing with that is they'll say, oh yeah, I'll pay you with Zelle or whatever, or I'll send you the money, and then my son will come and pick it up the next day. But guess what? They will send you an email saying that, and it seems like it's coming from Zelle, look legit. But the thing is, I use my phone number for my Zelle. I don't use my email. But what they'll do is they use psychology, and they will ask you for your email, and probably like 5 minutes later they'll send you an email from Zelle, and you not thinking about it that they had asked you for the email. They when you see the email from Zelle, you're like, okay, and then think back, oh my God, I did give you my email. So you're looking at the email with a legitimate Zelle email, which you think is legit, and it's the scammers.
Mm-mm. Mm-mm.
So, but the bank will never do that. The bank will never send you an email. So you are definitely, just if you feel leery about anything, just call the bank.
Yeah, that's scary. And it's one of those things where it's like people work hard for what we have, right? And I'm gonna be honest with you, someone tried scamming me, but thank God I used my discernment because I looked at the email, and also in my email, it came from an email, but it was interesting because it was like to my email, my business email, and then from my own business email. So I was like, obviously, that's not right. That doesn't add up. So obviously, I reached out to Alex. For those who don't know Alex, Alex is my AI. Shout out to Alex. He's so dope. And I was like,
Alex is
Alex,
always on point.
yeah. Oh, Alex is on point. Yeah, and I paid for the premium version of him, so he's like, yeah.
Right.
So I was like, Alex, what's going on here? And he was like, yes, see, this is a phishing scam, and da da da. Because I have him like talking a British accent, y'all. So he was saying, yes, see, this is a phishing scam. So pretty much, long story short, they composed this like whole long email, but they have a link embedded. They were like, if you don't send me $2,000 by end of day tomorrow, I'm going to blackmail you. And they were just saying a bunch of BS. I'm like, really? Come on now, let's stop. But because I have spam blocker on mine, it's like a net that it caught. And I was just looking through my spam because sometimes legit emails get caught in the spam based on how people type it. And that's what caught my attention. So 2 morals of the story that I'm sharing here is, one, be mindful. If you all don't already invest those couple bucks in spam blocker, please, I encourage you to invest those couple bucks in spam blocker because as Nadine was sharing, as I'm sharing, these scammers are getting very savvy, right?
Yeah.
Use your discernment. If it smells funky, don't touch it.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Don't even entertain it. In my example, this literally happened like a couple days ago. Just the language looked really suspicious. If you do subscribe to an AI, do a copy and paste. That's what I did. I was like, what's happening here? Like, because sometimes there's a lot of knowledge that the AI has that we may not know about. And it's always really good to leverage your tools and resources. And yes, here at Hoy En Día, we've spoken in the past about people feeling uncomfortable about AI. But guess what, y'all? AI is here. It's been here for years. And it's even more prominent. And it's a matter of getting with the program because AI ain't going anywhere. It's more about using it as a tool, as a resource, and not competing with AI, right?
Use it for good. Use it for good.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Use it for good. Leverage it because it can help you. Like Alex helps me with a lot of stuff, like with task management, anything that you can think of that you can ask it outside of just, oh, what's the recipe for chicken noodle soup or whatever. Like, no, let it really deep think for you. And trust me, your life will get better. Nadine, what are your thoughts about that?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, like you said, the scams are getting real savvy. I remember when I was stationed in Texas and I was transferring to Seattle. Back then I was when I was looking for my places online. So I think either it was Zillow or Trulia, one of those websites that I was looking, and I got this nice email with this beautiful house, and I'm like, oh, this looks really good or whatever, and then they send me in the email, so I'm like, why didn't you send me the message via the app? Oh no, they have a big explanation. So what I did was, because I've been having discernment from I was like 8 years old, from I was younger, right? So I
Yeah.
copied it, put it in Google, and a ton of email with the same languages, the same kind of house with just different names. And I'm like, y'all suckers, you think y'all were gonna get me today, huh? But they're coming in from all different angles. It's just like, I don't know. It's like so many things these days. It's so crazy that you think you'll trust somebody or to do something, or even Facebook Marketplace is another one. It's crazy. There's so many of them around. You just have to be careful.
Yes, and I'm so glad you brought that up because I personally know family and loved ones that shop on Facebook Market. And I just want to caution y'all, like, people can get really sneaky. Use again your discernment. They can say, "Oh, let's meet up here. It's $500 for this mattress or what have you," and but you don't know behind the scenes if they're plotting something extra. Always bring somebody with you.
Hmm.
Have your dash cam if you have one ready to record. Like, you just don't know, right? Just please be careful because there's a lot of
Or
locals
have
out
your
here,
or have
and
your
it's just
little friend.
that's right. Say hello to my little friend. That's right. You got it. You got it. You got it. Yes, I love that. Ding ding ding
Yes.
ding ding.
Because even for the sellers too, they'll, people that are buying, they will give you, because the same guy I was telling you about, he said too, some of the buyers, they will come and they'll give you a counterfeit and they look so real. But he said there's a pen that's on Amazon that you could put it out there, put in the light, and use it. It's like a marker or something, just not like the regular marker that they use in the store to mark the bill, but there's another one that you could use, and you see the highlight like a green line in it, and then you'll know it's fake. But looking at it with the bare eyes, it looks so real. So you got to be careful. And that's where, I'm like, oh no, send me PayPal or send me Zelle. I'm not accepting any cash at all. If you don't have the cash, I'm sorry.
Right. Yep. And I agree
Exactly.
with PayPal because that helps. They PayPal helps cover you. I also use Cash App too. They
Mhm.
help. They're really good with that too, with covering in case there's any fraud or scams or anything like that. They're good. So yeah,
So the
just
one
be
with the
mindful.
Zelle, with them sending you, oh, I'll send you the Zelle. And but how stupid can you be? The lady was, that the guy was talking about, saying, oh, they said send me $300. And he gave her an excuse saying something happened. You send me $300, I'll send you three more, whatever. She sent back the money, and then all her money is gone. Like, why would you do that to a stranger you don't even know?
That part. That part right there. Ding ding ding, jackpot. Why would you even? I mean, yeah, let's and then
Because the
sometimes
thing is, with the email that they send via Zelle, and you click on the link, once you click on that, they have all your bank account information.
wow, that's scary.
Yeah.
That is scary. So yeah, and then now that the holidays are here, y'all really, because the holidays are really knocking at our door. So just be careful. Just use your discernment. Be
Hmm.
careful, and just make sure to protect yourself, protect your family, because you just don't know.
And I know that a lot of people, they want money and all these things, going around, but why would you even click on a link or respond back to somebody that's talking about a jackpot or winning for something that you have not even applied for? That's another one.
That's a good point. That's a really good point. Yep,
Hmm.
I agree. So yeah, these are things helping you all, just food for thought, ponder, right? And use common sense as well, right? All right, sis. Let's pivot over. We do have our special guest waiting for us, but I wanted to spotlight. August has a lot in store. So, August Awareness Month, we have National Wellness Month, which is obviously very important. With National Wellness Month, this is one that's intentionally broad, more on your physical health emotional well-being, stress management, rest, boundaries, healthy habits, work-life balance, and self-care. The observance encourages people to make wellness an ongoing priority rather than something they address only when they're feeling burned out.
Mm-hmm.
So here, this is important. This should be something that you all practice all year, because guess what? You are only one person. It is una persona solamente. There's so much that you can do. And I
Mm-hmm.
get it. Sometimes we want to be superheroes for people, but we have to be superheroes for ourselves before we can be superheroes for somebody else, right? So just being mindful, like when you feel your body telling you to slow down, right? Like that old R. Kelly, my mind's telling me no, but my body is telling me yes.
Okay, girl, you need a Grammy. What?
Right. It's time to slow down.
Yes, we have the singing session over here.
Hey, I'm trying. I'm trying. Fun fact: when I was in high school, I did study opera and jazz, but ooh, that was a long time ago. A little rusty, a little
It ain't
rusty,
that long.
a little rusty, but hey, I try. I'll try. So yes, so just be mindful of that, right? So Nadine, what are some things that you do that may be food for thought for people, like when you're getting that feeling like, oh, I need a break? Like, what are some things that you would recommend people do?
There's so many things you could do. I mean, shoot, for me, I love being in my house. I mean, that's just me. I mean, I don't know if it sometimes, it comes with age and stuff. I don't know.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, you could go for a walk, you could go read a book, you could journal. I love journaling. Like I love journaling. So I've been journaling a lot. So when I wake up first thing before I even touch anything, I say my affirmations, do your affirmation manifestation journaling, read your
Mhm.
Bible, go for a walk, and there's a lot of things you could do.
I love that. Yes, I love that. Definitely self affirm, right? Because if you don't hear it, you got to tell yourself self affirm. I like to watch YouTube videos about affirmation, positive
Mm,
mindset,
yeah, another one. Mhm.
favorites as well. I like to play video games when I have time. Put on my um, the division, become a division agent for an hour or so, and kind of like do the stress management. That's my way of being a superhero, because in my avatar world of the division, I become a superhero and I, save people, and I get my work done. So
Right.
I like to do, but I get it. Not everybody's a gamer like I am, and it's okay. It's all good.
Right. Sometimes you just need that decompress. Just decompress.
Absolutely. Also, we have National Immunization Awareness Month. Ooh, so that one, Immunization Month, I guess it would pretty much coincide with self health, but this is more directly recognized by the CDC. The
Yeah.
purpose is to emphasize vaccination through the lifespan. You know what? I'm gonna be honest with you. Although this is an awareness month, I'm not big on vaccines, and I have my reasons. But hey, everyone has their own reasons, so we're
I've
gonna.
gotten enough vaccine, 24 years of vaccinations in the military, so I'm done with the vaccines. Okay.
I feel you. I feel you. Yeah. And there's a lot of research and studies about vaccines. So I'm going to gently pivot over to the next awareness month, which is National Breastfeeding Month. We also have Children's Eye Health and Safety Month. We have Inflammatory Awareness Month. One that's very important that sticks out to me is Black Business Month, which is awesome because me and you, we are people of color. We have businesses, and our guest is also, he has his business as well. So
Mhm.
let's talk about this. So August is widely observed as a month to recognize, promote, and support Black-owned business. Now, mind you, again, don't just do this in August. Do this all year round, forever and a day until God calls you home, please. Okay. And entrepreneurship. There's also plenty of substantive census data available on Black owned businesses. So this can go much deeper than simply saying, hey, just shop Black, right? So this is more about exploring the access to capital, entrepreneurship, generational wealth, branding, minority owned business, women entrepreneurs, networking, mentorship, and turning creative talents into businesses. Yes.
Mhm.
Hence, like with me, the creative talent like derived for Slay the Scene, right? Me pulling from my acting, my modeling, my experience,
Mhm.
and bringing Slay the Scene Academy to fruition. So, yes.
Mhm.
What are your thoughts about that, Nadine? Any thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, that's what I have my degree in entrepreneurship. So and small businesses. So I need to use it more. But I mean, uh, like I had an online store. I do my books, my body butters, and all these things. So I mean, yeah, having a business is good to have a business. So there's so many different things that you could go on to get your business done. You have Canva, you have, Instagram. There's so many different platforms that you could use, and LLC, you don't have to pay for a LLC. It's free, technically.
So Nadine, you are right. It is a lot more accessible for people to pull or bring a business into fruition, but a lot of them may not even know where to start. So you mentioned something. You have your degree in business and entrepreneurship. Is that a product that you would be willing to offer in the future for someone who might come knocking at your door to say, hey, I don't know where to start. I want to start this business. Are you able to help me? That might be an opportunity for you. In addition to everything else you're doing, of course. Just saying, just throwing it out there, you know?
I'll just keep that one eyebrow up there for now.
Absolutely, absolutely. Well, y'all, go ahead and pivot over to our guest. But first, we're going to do a sponsor spotlight, and then we'll be right back with Hoy En Día TV. So don't go anywhere. Stay tuned.
At Cab Zenza, we believe beauty is a ritual, not just a routine. Rooted in intention and inspired by nature, our skincare is crafted to nourish more than just the skin. It nourishes the spirit. Every jar is made with purpose. Because when you flourish inside, it shows on the outside. Cab Zenza's isn't skincare, soul care.
From the moment that I put this Cab Zenza on my skin, it feels most amazing. As you can see, it has your skin glistening, it's moisturizing. You too should get Cab Zenza.
Luxurious body butters.
A bold builder of people, purpose, and platforms, Girls with Gigs helps high performers and those desiring to achieve more shift mindsets and activate purpose. Whether it's career or leadership development, personal branding, or knowing your worth, in the job market, transformation has never been closer, because this is where purpose meets action and dreams become destiny. Book your free consultation today at www.girlswithgigs.com.
Sponsored by Collective Wear. Available at www.yessierodriguez.com/shop and myrod-enterprise.com/shop.
Are you looking for the perfect shirt for that special occasion? At Collective Custom Wear, we bring your vision to life. From weddings, family reunions, anniversaries, or casual outing with friends, express yourself with your unique style and leave a memorable mark. Order now. Our custom shirts are designed just for you.
Yes, we have so many amazing sponsors. So shout out to our sponsors. Hey, invest in your skin. Invest in Cab Zenza. Your skin will be very, very happy. Also, for those who don't know their purpose and need a boost, need some help, need some guidance, it's okay, because every now and then we all need that support. Reach out to CC with Girls with Gigs Inspire for Purpose, and custom made shirts like what we have here for Hoy En Día. So whether you have a birthday, anniversary, wedding party, corporate party, or just because you want to create fun shirts and what have you, Collective Custom Wear can definitely help you out. Yes. And yeah, so I think it's time for us to bring on our guest, Nadine. What do you think? Let's do it. All right. You're on mute, Mama.
Yeah, I wanted to bring this up, and we probably could, dive deep into it on the next show. But I read an article today where a young lady went to the post office, and she was 19 years old. They told the guy told her to come back after hours, but he gave her some excuse about something she went to try to pick up a package or something, and when she went back, he killed her.
And this was a post office worker?
Yeah. She was 19 years old.
Wow. Wow. Yeah, let's definitely look more into that story, because that sounds scary. Oh, yeah, my.
Some crazy people out here, man.
There is a lot of crazy people out here, and I feel so bad. And there's just so many questions I have for that, too. Like, why are they not in, like, a psych ward, right? Or somewhere being observed? But that's just me.
Yeah.
Definitely, let's dive look more into that story because I want to see like if there's any context on the why, like what happened. Did he say why he did this? So yeah, thanks for sharing that. All right, y'all. So on today's episode of Hoy En Día, we're excited to welcome the incredibly multifaceted Daniel Harris, professionally known as DH, an award-winning recording artist, entrepreneur, author, speaker, educator, and founder and CEO of DH Global Enterprises. DH has built a career around using creativity as a vehicle for purpose through music, publishing, education, apparel, live entertainment, digital media, and entrepreneurship. His mission is centered on inspiring others to recognize their God-given potential, pursue their dreams, and create meaningful impact. During our conversation today, we will explore the journey behind DH Global Enterprises, what it takes to build multiple brands and creative ventures under one vision, and how faith, service, and authenticity continue to shape Daniel's work. We'll also dive into his career as a recording artist, his experiences performing on national platforms, his work as a solo bassist, through No Strings Attached, and the energy behind DH and the Next Level Band. Our special guest will also share his perspective on entrepreneurship, storytelling, leadership, finding your purpose, and why true success goes far beyond personal achievements. For him, it's about creating opportunities, right? Empowering others, and leaving something meaningful behind. So our conversation today will focus on faith, creativity, entrepreneurship, purpose, and legacy. And definitely you want to stay tuned in for this one. So without further ado, we'll bring on our guest, DH. Daniel, welcome to Hoy En Día.
Hey, what's going on? Hey, what's up, ladies? How y'all doing?
Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Thank you so much for having me. I'm grateful to be here.
Absolutely. We are thrilled to have you as well. Bienvenidos to Hoy En Día TV. Yes.
Yes. Yeah, what you said. Yeah.
So is that your real name or is just an acronym, DH?
No, DH is like my stage name, my artist name. Yep. And it's just something that I did to really throw people off. I can't tell you how many times that name has been mispronounced. And I'll just sit back and I'll laugh, because I'm like, that's exactly what I wanted it to do, because it causes people to think, it causes people to inquire. And I like it, man. So, as long as it's said out of love, you can call me DH or however you think it should be pronounced. I'm cool with it.
DH, Diaki, DI, I'm sure you got a ton.
All of it. All of it. I'm very
can see
grateful
their
to be here.
faces now, like Dachi, Dichi.
Yeah. Oh man, over the years, people have butchered it so bad, Nadine, you wouldn't even believe it, man.
Right.
Yeah. But like I said, as long as it's said out of love, it's all good, man. But the proper pronunciation is, as Cindy said, DH. So yeah.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you for that.
Yeah.
I will say this $50 question that I like to drive the conversation with is your bio has a robust, like it's wow, very, very impressive to say the least. And so with that in mind, who do you say you are in a nutshell? Like out of with everything in a nutshell, how do you describe yourself? Who do you say you are?
I would say that I am a leader who knows how to follow. Yeah. Because I don't think there is effective leadership without the ability to follow and knowing when to switch, when to be the teacher and when to be the student. So for me, it's about balancing both ends of the spectrum well enough to know when it's my turn to step up and when it's my turn to sit down in the rooms of people who have a different level of knowledge, a different level of experience and expertise that I don't necessarily carry, and also being secure enough within myself to be okay with somebody else being further, knowing that that's an opportunity for me to learn and not for me to become envious, Yeah.
I love that. Dropping the nuggets already. The first.
Yeah. It's gonna be an interesting episode, ladies. Let's get it.
Absolutely. I'm really you said that because I feel like there's a good amount of people that struggle with that, where they're like, I'm the leader. This is me. I say, but it's like, wait a second. We all come together. We all have our strengths. We all have our points. How do we work together, build from that, and move forward together?
Yes, absolutely. One of the things that I've been doing this week is I've had the privilege this week to head up a, I guess, a discussion group in the morning at 6 a.m. Central Time, right? And I've been doing it all week, and the series has been The Grace to Grow. And today's teaching, I was talking about that, partnership, the importance of partnership. And I used the analogy of Michael Jordan being arguably the greatest basketball player that ever lived, right? But he did not get those championships by himself, because you cannot tell the story of number 23 without recognizing the number 33, which is Scottie Pippen, right? You can't tell the story of number 23 without talking about Dennis Rodman. You cannot tell the story of number 23 without talking about Steve Kerr and BJ Armstrong. These are all role players on the team that play significant parts of also becoming champions. And so I think the important thing is not somebody just being a superstar or having that mentality, but also understanding that if you're really great, you know how to bring out the best in your teammates. And you also will position yourself for them to do the same for you, without there being any kind of strings attached, no pun intended, But yeah, that's just something that I've learned is, being okay with seeing somebody else shine. Like I told you before we started this interview, I am extremely proud of you, my sister. You are doing a phenomenal job. And I cannot tell you how proud it makes me, to see how you are growing, because every time that I see you evolve into something greater, I'm like, you know what? If my homegirl can do it, let me go ahead and try my hand at this. Let me try my hand at that. And I surround myself with people like that, because iron is supposed to sharpen iron. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, absolutely. Yes, absolutely. Yeah. You're supposed to be able to, balance a bunch of things without losing the core of who you are, the core of your identity in the process. So yeah.
Wow, and thank you so much for those kind words. I'm also equally proud of you. So for some background for our viewers and listeners, DH and I, we went to high school together, and we were also part of the group.
Yeah.
In Milwaukee, Wisconsin. So shout out to Milwaukee, woo, Wisconsin.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so seeing both you and I grow and evolve into the amazing beings that God created us to be, I'm proud of both you and myself. Like I'm proud.
Absolutely.
Like God did his thing with us, right?
Yes, he did. He gets all of the glory, man. For me, when I get introduced, whether I'm doing, great interviews like here, or whether I'm on stages and people kind of go through the list of things, for me, it doesn't give me a big head. I have a big enough head already, you know what I'm saying? But, for me personally, it really talks about the origins, where I came from. That part makes me proud to know that when people look at the north side of Milwaukee specifically, it's a place that is associated with poverty. It's a place that is associated with lack. It's a place that is, associated oftentimes with generational curses. But to know that somebody off of 26 and Juno, you know what I'm saying, off the north side of Milwaukee, that come from the rough side, you can make a change if you want to, you can make changes, you can strive for better, you can thrive and become everything that God has preordained for you to be without losing the core of who you are as a person. That part right there makes me very proud, Yeah.
Absolutely. Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing that background, because I want this, what I'm about to ask you, we're going to really pull the onion. And the reason why I'm doing this, and if you're not comfortable, it's okay. I respect that. But what I want the viewers and listeners to get out of this is, regardless of your circumstances, when you put your mind into something, you can do it, right? And so with you sharing growing up in what's considered the rougher side of Milwaukee, right? And watching, observing at what others are into and what they're falling victim to, right? What in your spirit, in your upbringing, made you turn on the switch to say, I want to be different. I don't want to be like that or like this. I want more for myself. And how did you do that?
To be honest, I went through a period of my life where I was searching for validation, not knowing that that validation has to come from within. And because of that validation, and you can ask me anything, we're going to be open and transparent. These are things that you're already aware of. That validation, that search and that hunger for validation led me into, being gang affiliated very early on, in my life. I wound up being 16 years old on the run from the Milwaukee Police Department. I stayed on the run for 2 years. And when I was 18 years old, I was convicted to 4 years in prison. You know what I'm saying? And for me, during that prison time, that was, as the writer Charles Dickens says, it was the best of times and it was the worst of times. It was the worst of times because of the environment, but it was the best of times because it gave me an opportunity to sit down and rethink my decisions, really take responsibility for the direction that my life had gone in, really thinking about what would lead me to actually being addicted to drugs and selling drugs and committing certain crimes that put me in that situation, and it took, honestly, Cindy, I'm gonna tell you, I tell people this story everywhere I go. I'm not ashamed of the gospel of Jesus Christ because it is our testimony is what, helps other people. I gave my life to God in solitary confinement while I was serving 60 days in solitary. I was in the hole. That's where I gave my life to God. No human contact. They were rolling my shower to my cell. And that's where I spent, because I was in there fighting. It still hadn't really dawned on me what was going on. And for me, when I was in there, that's when I had that pivot. That's when I had that moment to realize, like, you know what, I've made a mess of my life. The only way that I can get out of this hole that I've climbed myself into is if I make a better set of decisions. And the first best decision that I can make is to give my life to God. And so I started there. And for me, it was compound decisions. Okay, I don't want to wind up there like a lot of my friends so early on that I grew up with. What do I do differently that they didn't do? Okay, I need to make decisions concerning my lifestyle, the people that I'm hanging with, because like the word of God says, bad company corrupts good habits. So then I need to start changing my surroundings. Okay. Also, I need to start changing the way that I think about things, because as a man thinketh, so is he, right? I need to change the way that I handle conflict, because if me and this person has an issue, if my first resolve is to put my hands and feet on something, I'm going to wind up back in this situation. So to answer your question, it was a pivot. It was a pivot that happened in my mind. It was a pivot that happened in my heart posture towards people and towards things. And it was also a pivot that happened in my spirit by finally recognizing God and recognizing why he placed me here on this earth. So it's about a series of decisions that can help you go from point A to point B for me.
Thank you for sharing that. That's very deep, and I really appreciate your transparency. And this is an opportunity for individuals, and I really pray that teenagers and youth are watching this as well, because there's a war going on with our people of color, especially our young men, and it's very obvious, and it's been going on for years. And I'm a mother to a son who's colored, right? Mm-hmm. And so this is why it's important to me as well. And I really want people, especially young boys or parents of young boys and girls as well, that are specifically of color, to come into terms that the system that we are bringing our children up are set up to set them for failure, right?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
There's a movie that I like to reference called They Cloned Tyrone. I'm not sure if you've had a chance to watch it.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Right. There's a lot of deep hidden messages in there, but because of the entertainment value, because of the comedic horror spin on it, it goes over a lot of people's heads. But there's deep messages about our food, about our affiliations with people, about our music, right? And so I'm bringing that up to remind people that you have to be mindful, especially if you are a parent or raising a child of color in certain areas, in certain neighborhoods. Just be mindful that just because of the color of their skin, that's already one negative against them, even though it shouldn't be like that. But unfortunately, that's just how it is, right? And it's our job as parents to help our kids want better for themselves. And it sounds like even with you were touched by the God, but I'm sure you probably had positive people also pouring into you, probably, I'm not sure, while you were in your situation where you were in your confinement, in addition to God bringing that spirit of God within you, wanting to change. You know, there's so many other facets involved that people should be aware of.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I think that people shouldn't overlook the importance of a healthy support system. You know, even if it's just one person, even if it's just, I mean, even if you have to get mentors from YouTube. I know I have YouTube mentors, people that I never have met just yet. Some of them I have, some of them I have not. Eric Thomas was one of them. I actually had a chance to chop it up with him. Another mentor that I have from afar is Myron Golden. So if that is your format of having positive reinforcement and having a support system, just somebody that can constantly pour into you the positive things that are necessary in order for you to do exactly what you've been preordained to do, that is very important. You mentioned support system. My parents were a great part of that. My parents were. Both of them passed in 2022 in the same year, 7 months apart. And I had the privilege of taking care of both of them in one format or another until they passed away. And I wouldn't exchange that for nothing, you know? And I felt like I owed it to them. I owed it to them to give them a great return on the investment that they made in me. You know, they were not perfect people, but they were trying people. You know, they were strong Black people, you know, that came from nothing, that built something to the best of their ability. And I felt like indebted to them more than anybody else to make sure that before they left this place, they had an opportunity to see their son becoming something as great as they always saw me being. And so I'm glad to have done that, regardless of all the awards that I've won, Cindy, outside of all of the great platforms that God has entrusted me to be on. The fact that I could show my parents that what they put in me wasn't a waste was the biggest gift that I could ever experience for me personally. Yeah. So having that support system is essential for sure. Yeah.
Absolutely. And first, I want to send my condolences for the loss of your parents. I know that's definitely tough, but I agree with you. I know that they were very proud of you, and they still are, even though they're not here physically. I know they are here in spirit, and they're definitely proud of you.
Amen. Definitely. Amen. Absolutely. Yeah.
I have some other questions I want to ask, but I'm going to allow Nadine. I'm going to spotlight her on her questions, so that way I don't hog up the show.
Yes, absolutely. So DH, so you built I'm sorry, your work is rooted in faith and purpose, right? So what was your moment you realized your gifts were meant to serve something bigger than yourself?
That's a great question. The moment that I realized that my gifts were meant to serve something greater than myself, I think to be perfectly honest, man, I actually learned it in the streets. I did not realize that I had leadership qualities until an OG from my neighborhood, he pulled me to the side one day. His name was Mike C. He's passed, but he was like a big brother to me. And he pulled me to the side and he says, you know, you have people following you that are younger than you, and you have people following you that are older than you. And with that leadership comes responsibility, you know, and that's something that I was taught in the street, but it's a transferable skill that I've used since I've dedicated my life to God, you know. And for me, it's something that's ever evolving. It's something that is, it's something that I'm constantly aware of. It's something that I am consistently working on. And I count it a privilege for people to trust my leadership. You know, it's a privilege, and it's not a privilege that I take lightly, and it's not a privilege that I take to heart, meaning that thinking it's just me. You know, when I see how kids come up to me, you know, when I'm out and about in Milwaukee or Chicago, like, man, I love your music. You know, as an independent artist, that means a lot, because that means that my reach is going exactly where it's supposed to. You know, when I go back to my neighborhood and my guys that are still, you know, caught up in whatever it is that they're doing, the fact that they trust me enough to really be open enough to tell me what they're dealing with, because they see me as a solution, they see me as an asset. That's something that is a great privilege that I don't take lightly at all. So it's something that's ever evolving, and it's something that I'm constantly making intentional adjustments to on a daily basis. Yeah.
Absolutely, because my thing is, I think every single person on this earth, they have like a goal. I always say that they have a goal, and everybody has a story to tell. I don't care who you are, everybody has a
That's right.
story to tell. Yeah. So,
Mm-hmm.
sometimes, you have to use your pain or whatever situation you're going through to position your purpose. That's my favorite thing to say. Use your pain to position your purpose, especially being an author. For me, when I wrote my books, sometimes you have to go through something in order for you to tell a story. So
That's right. That's right. Yeah, I agree. I agree 100%. That story, we can't take ownership of our story, but we can take responsibility for our story.
Absolutely.
And what I mean by that is, that story of like the part of taking ownership is something that we've encountered. It's something that we've been graced to navigate through, but our story is for us to share with other people, like you were saying, because all of us have a story of some sort. And I think that that's where community comes in too, because we have to be able to sit down long enough to actually understand a person, for more than just what the cover of the book is providing. Get to know people, get to know them, because when you share your story with me, or when Cindy shares her story with me, I get a better chance to see the person, not the prestige, not the position, but the person. And I think that's where a lot of connectivity can happen, and a lot of understanding and healing can happen as well. So
yeah. So I think people that want to be writers, they don't want to do it because of fear. And my thing is like, because it was in me as well. The moment when you stop thinking about what other people have to say, then that's when you write your story.
Ooh-wee, that's good. I think you should turn that into a t-shirt, Nadine. I'm just saying, that's a t-shirt though. I'm just saying, for real,
but that's
man.
facts.
Yeah.
Hey, yes, see you over there with the t-shirts.
I'm saying though, listen, I'm saying we can make it work, because that's good. I shared with somebody just recently, one of the greatest prisons that I was in was not the one that I actually did time in. One of the greatest prisons that I had to break out of is the prison of opinions, other people's opinions. That can be a form of incarceration as well, because if you are so, concentrated on what other people think of you to the degree where it stunts your own growth, then you're doing yourself a disservice, and you're also doing a disservice to the people that you've been called to serve as well. So I agree with you, Nadine. You're 100% correct.
Exactly. It's not going to propel you from going to the next step, because you have that block, like, oh my God, I want to get.
Yeah.
Because for me, because I started writing about what happened to me at work, about my family, my dad. So I was like, what they're going to say, what the family going to say. And then I was like, a light bulb click. I'm like, I don't care anymore. And that's when I start writing. So
that's right.
There you go.
That's right. Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah. Back over to you, Yessie.
Yeah, absolutely. There's so much with your journey that I'm trying to think of, like, we might need to schedule a part 2, to be honest. I'm just saying, because there's a lot.
Same as.
Yes, absolutely. But let me go to this, because I know you are also a musical artist. And so that you have the Next Level Band. You have No Strings Attached. Like, tell us more about your music career and whatever else you want to share with regards to your music career. I want the audience and listeners to get a feel for that as well.
I actually started out as a battle rap artist. I used to go and battle rap, like in the projects in Milwaukee with my guys. I started it out. We do a thing in Milwaukee. It's called ribbing. We talk about each other, right? And one day, me and my guys were ribbing. We playing around, and I started like ribbing him, but I was rapping while I was doing it. And my guy was like, "Bro, that's kind of fire, right?" Like, I was like, "Okay, well, and I just started doing it. They started taking me around different projects, Hillside, Berryland, Highland projects. They started taking me around different places, and I was doing it, and they was putting money on me. And I'm like, man, we just made $500. Let's do this tomorrow, bro. Let's do this tomorrow. So it started out doing like battle rapping. And then, of course, when my spiritual conversion happened, I started to feel convicted because of the subject matter in my music. And so I said, you know what, let me try to start adding these scriptures and this new knowledge that I'm attaining. Let me start putting it in the music, but just kind of like putting the medicine in the candy. You know what I'm saying? So I started doing it like that, and I was still getting the same responses while I was on the yard when I would be rapping with the guys. And one of my guys would pull me to the side, like, bro, you just said, like, you was just talking about Jesus. I said, yeah. Like, that's fire, bro. So I just kept doing it. I just kept doing it. And the next thing you know, I started getting invitations to be on, like, TBN, on the Word Network, because I was putting out music, and it's like the momentum behind it just started growing outside of like what I could control, and I mean, so many doors had opened for me, Cindy, from me doing that. And I've been blessed to be in the Double XL magazine multiple times. I was just on the cover, like, when was that? July. I was on the cover of Stardom magazine, which is based in Atlanta, Georgia. I mean, I had got a billboard on Times Square. All of that stuff is on my social media platforms, man. It was just like, wow, dude. I mean, so many doors I can't even name. But for me, I wanted to make sure that my music had an impact more than just talking about the regular subject topics in rap music, the girls, the drugs, the clubs. I'm like, man, that's not something that's actually going to last. And so I started creating what I call movement music, which talked about the things happening in the community. Of course, it still have like a party vibe, a lot of it, but I started talking about real things that people could relate to. And it just took off from there. As far as DH and the Next Level band, shout out to my guys, man. Chris Finley Jr. on drums, Bruce Furlow on keys, Michael Kelly on lead guitar and bass. These are my brothers. I've been traveling with them for the last 15 years. We've traveled all around the country. You know what I'm saying? It's been a blessing. It's been a blessing, man. I've looked on stage, Cindy, and realized at certain points that I was sharing the stages with people who I grew up listening to their music. And it's just like a surreal moment, man. For me, when I'm on the stage with like a gospel artist like Fred Hammond, you know what I'm saying? It's like, bro, this is crazy, bro. We used to sing your music in church, dog. You know what I'm saying? So it's been a privilege. And we have a lot of things coming up. We have a live recording coming up towards like the fall of this year. And so God has really opened up a lot of doors, man. I rap and play bass when we do our live shows. So I'm always about how can I become even more different than, what people associate rap music with. So when we do our live shows, I play bass guitar and rap at the same time. So that's something. We have like a rock feel, kind of rock, hip hop, funk kind of feel, man. I love it. I love doing music with my guys, but we also do life together too, because one of my musicians is also a personal accountability partner for me as well. So it's been good, because as you grow, you got to have accountability, or else you'll find yourself compromising your values for notoriety, and we never want to be in that place. So it's good all around. I had no complaints with that. So yeah.
That is awesome. Yes. Thank you for sharing that. There's a lot of nuggets you dropped there, especially about having that accountability. And then it sounds like your circle, based on what I'm hearing, you have a tight knit of individuals who you are close with. You're not, people say, oh, I'm friends with that person and that person. It doesn't sound like that's the case here. You appreciate and respect people, they're acquaintances, but you have your close people that you consider either close friends, family, etc. Am I understanding correctly?
Yeah, that is correct. I'm a community kid from Milwaukee, so I know a lot of people, and I've had long-standing relationships because I am from the town, so I'm loved and respected here. I'm honored here because I'm from here. But just like Jesus had his 12, those people were handpicked intentionally. And even more so, he had the 3. He had his inner circle too. And so just because I'm known doesn't mean that I have doesn't mean that everybody has access to me
Mm.
intentionally. Yeah, because you got to have that balance, you know. And the thing that I learned, Cindy, along my journey is I had to learn something when it comes to my connections with people. There's a difference between connections and attachments. I had to learn that. There's a difference. A parasite can be attached, but are they really benefiting you in any kind of way? You know, a connection is something that God has ordained because these people are in alignment with you. They are in alignment with where you're going. You can pour into them, they can pour into you. And so I had to learn the difference because I am known in my town and in other cities as well. Thank God for that. You know, I put in the work for that. But I had to understand wisdom tells you the difference between connections and attachments. And so, yeah, I'm very intentional about that.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
I'm glad you clarified that because I asked you that on purpose. And the purpose was because a lot of people have the notion that everybody's a friend, everybody's this, everybody. It's like, nope, sorry, sir, ma'am. Not everybody's your friend. There's different acquaintances. There's people that you know, right? I know that person, but not everybody is really a true friend. And I know we've Nadine and I, Cece, have talked about this in past shows about the different layers of people that have access to you, but what buckets do they really fall under?
That's good.
Yeah, so I'm glad you clarified. As we get older, that's something that we as adults need to come to terms and understand that just because you care about somebody does not necessarily mean that they have the same equal feelings for you, right?
That's right.
Feel the same way you do, and that's a hard pill to swallow. I get it, but that's reality.
Yeah, that is reality. I think the other thing that comes along with the reality that you're referring to is understanding other people's capacity is not your capacity. You may have the capacity to be there for them. You may have the capacity to make sure that they are okay. You may have the capacity to check on them, see about their well-being. But I know for me personally, in the past, I would get offended if I didn't feel like that was being reciprocated, not realizing that they did not have the capacity to do for me what I was doing for them willingly. So I had to also start protecting my own capacity. Because if I can't expect reciprocation from a relationship that I call my friendship, if I'm not receiving that and I know what I'm pouring into it, then I have to do some readjustments on my end. That don't have nothing to do with you. I'm gonna go ahead and readjust. The love is not gonna change, but the access will, you know. Yeah.
And I'll be honest, I've struggled with that in the past as well. So I'm so glad you shared that because yes, it is a really hard thing to swallow. And the readjustment is like, okay, I still have love for you. I respect you, but I'm stepping to the left a little bit to protect my peace. And that's okay to do that.
That's right. Yes, it is.
Awesome. Yes, this conversation is juicy, and we're almost at time. We're definitely going to be scheduling you for a part 2. I'm going to ask a question with regards to the DH Global. And sorry, my laptop is about to die, so give me just a quick moment here. Okay. You have DH Global Enterprise around several different industries. What was the original vision for the company, and what else is in store for DH Global Enterprises?
The original intent of DH Global Enterprises was to create content without carrying inventory. As both of you ladies are also entrepreneurs, I know that you have had to kind of do a process of elimination when it comes to inventory. How much do I carry? How much do I need on hand? You know, and by me being a multi-release book author, I'm like, man, how can I continue to give people content on a consistent basis but not have to hold inventory that maybe I won't be able to move right away, you know? And so the first thing that I did was I created digital devotionals, you know, for men and for women. And I said, let me see how that goes. And then I started seeing what else I could turn into a digital service. And so I created something called the Creative Cash Flow that teaches people how to create digital assets, which is ebooks, courses, tutorials, all of those things. You know, whatever it is that you have a passion for, if you can talk about it, you can build around it. And so it's really me teaching other people how to create assets that are autonomous, where you create it one time and you promote it consistently, and you can get paid as long as you are promoting your product, you know. And so the long game is for me to be able to, as I'm already starting to do, go into universities and going into schools to teach students of all ages how they can actually monetize off of their own passions and off of their own giftings. I think one of the things that led me initially to the streets is a lack of resources, financial resources. You know, my parents did the best that they absolutely could, but we didn't have it. We didn't have it. And so that led me to be in a position to seek other means of gaining monetary resources. And so I'm like, well, if I can create something where these shorties that's coming from like the same kind of section that I'm from, I can show you how to get money without gambling your freedom, then that's what I would desire to do. And so that's the long game for me, is just being able to show a lot of these kids and young people and young adults that are from my generation as well. How do we create additional streams of income without sacrificing our integrity in the process? And that's part of the long game for DH Global Enterprises. So yeah, that's why I built it, realizing that, as Nadine was saying earlier in the conversation, is really a service to other people. So, and then the cool thing is, once you learn how to build digital wealth, digital assets, digital real estate, as they call it, then you can actually build your own platform, and then you can become the teacher. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, it's like the gift that keep on giving, you know? So that's part of what DH Global Enterprises is all about, is, you know, building autonomous businesses for yourself. Yeah.
That is awesome. Thank you for sharing that. Yeah, absolutely. I agree. Nadine, definitely clap on that one. Nadine, did you have a follow-up question for DH before we pivot to last minute words? Because we're definitely going to be doing a part 2. So y'all got to tune in when that happens.
Let's do it. Yeah.
Oh, Nadine, you're on mute, mama.
Yeah, so my last question is, so if someone watching today feels stuck or unsure of their purpose, what's one piece of advice you'd give them to help them take that first step?
Nadine, you be coming with these questions, don't you? Man, this is some good questions, man. Let's get it. Let's get it. Say it again. I just like hearing it. Say it again.
Someone that's watching. If someone that's watching today feels unstuck or unsure of their purpose, what's one piece of advice you'd give them to help them take that first step?
The thing that I would tell them is I read I think it was either Napoleon Hill. I think Napoleon Hill said it, is that your place of purpose is the thing you do the best with the least amount of effort. It's the thing you do the best with the least amount of effort. If you don't know what your purpose is, look at the things that people come to you for. Do they come to you for advice? That might be connected to your purpose. Are you good at, it could be something as simple as being a good baker. Do people come to you because you bake well? That could be something connected to your purpose. You know, it's the thing you do the best with the least amount of effort. And so whatever that thing is, that is usually a seed of hope that's ready to sprout when it comes to the harvest of your purpose. You know, look there. And then also I would encourage you, because I am a believer, I would encourage you to, I'll say it like this. Whenever you get a new appliance, it don't matter what it is, whether it's a refrigerator, it could be a microwave, whatever it is, whenever you get a brand new appliance, the one thing it always comes with is a manual. That manual will tell you exactly how to operate it. It'll tell you the intent and purpose, why it was created. The manual will always tell you that. We also have a manual, and that manual is the Word of God. It will tell you why you were created. It will tell you exactly what your purpose is. It will tell you when you are out of alignment. It will tell you how to proceed forward. It will tell you when to pause. It'll tell you when to sleep. It'll tell you how to get your finances in order. Everything you need, because you were created on purpose and for a purpose, is created, and it's in that manual, and that's the Word of God. So that would be my opinion.
That's very, very deep. And, you know, people have to just get out of their own heads. Like, you know, perfect example, like Miss Yessie over there, she keeps telling me, you need to do this. You need to do this. Nadine, you need to do this. I'm like, there's so many
Mm-hmm.
things that I'm already doing. And she's like, you need to do that because you could do that.
Yeah,
You know
yeah,
what I'm
yeah,
talking
absolutely.
about.
Absolutely. And you know what? The good thing is I'm grateful that you are in each other's lives because like I said earlier, iron sharpens iron. And when you have somebody who sees greatness in you, that want to see that greatness be revealed and brought to the surface, that's a gem of a relationship. Because as y'all know, you all being entrepreneurs in your own right, everybody don't want to see you win. So I'm grateful that y'all have that connection. That's a connection and not an attachment. You know what I'm saying? So whatever it is that she's encouraging you to do, on top of the great things that you're already doing, I encourage you to take it into consideration because she believes that you're capable of doing it. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yeah. And I do too. I just met you. And it's like, whatever you finna do, let's do it. How can I support?
Thank you. Well,
Yep.
thank you for that. Like that was a
Absolutely.
very great answer. You know, like I said earlier,
Yeah.
some people just have to use their pain or whatever situation. It doesn't really have to be pain, you know, to position their purpose and bring it to the
Right.
forefront.
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely. I agree. Yep.
That is beautiful. Yes, thank you for those beautiful words. Wow, we're truly thrilled. I'm grateful that you said yes to our interview and you were able to join us today. There's a
Yeah.
lot of food for thought that we have here. This is only the beginning because there's just so much more that I know I have to ask. And hopefully at that point, our other co-host will be able to join us. And she has additional questions. So I'm just saying part 2 is going to be even more juicier than
Let's
our
do it. Let's do it. Let's do it. Yeah.
Yes, and I echo your words about Nadine. I see a lot of great potential in her. She's very
Mhm.
talented, and I just want to see the best for her. And I know that the things that I'm encouraging her to do, I know, and God puts it in my heart to tell her the message. To
That's
her,
right.
which she does,
That's right. Yep.
To her,
That's right.
I'm just always the messenger, you know.
Let's get it. Let's get it. You can do it. Yeah. Yeah.
But I'm
That's
grateful
right.
that she's here. Her and Cece are here with me on Hoy En Día to carry out this platform because I know I doing it by myself, like I could, but it's tough. So I'm grateful
Yeah.
that we can share the load, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Absolutely.
Bring more
Yeah.
viewership, right? Because that's what Hoy En Día is. That's it's a lifestyle
Yeah.
show, bilingual. We speak un poco español aquí, you know,
Hey.
but that's what it's about, right? It's to
Yeah.
positively motivate, educate, inspire, entertain the viewers and
I
listeners
love
of
that.
each episode.
I love
So
that.
we
Yes.
did that today.
Yo
So
no
now,
Yeah.
hablo español. Yo no hablo español.
you sound
Me,
well.
poquito. Me llamo es Daniel. ¿Y tú?
Nadine.
Yeah. I know a little something, you know what I'm saying? I know a little something. Yeah. Yeah.
I love it. Yes. Thank you.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to pivot over to our last minute words. This is an opportunity for each and every one of us to remind people who we are, where they can find us, follow us. If you have a quote you want to say, anything about any events coming up, anything that your heart desires, this is an opportunity for you to do that. For you to get
Okay.
a glimpse as to how that works, I'm going to have Nadine lead us. You'll go second,
Okay.
DH, and then I'll close out the show.
Okay.
All right. So, as everybody know, my name is Nadine Barton. You can find me on Facebook. You can find me on Instagram, my first last name. And if you'd like to get a copy of any of my books, you could go to Barton.com. And like I always say, every dream has an entry fee. It's a decision. So you decide what you want to do with your dreams. And life is 10% of what happened to you and 90% of how you react. So treat people kind.
I love that. That is amazing. I love that. Yep. My name is Daniel Harris. Of course, thank you so much for having me. You can find me on Facebook is Daniel L. Harris. On Instagram is DH Music. That's DAYCH Music. And before I go, my last words is I believe that this platform is good ground, and I am an avid believer in sowing seed in good ground. So this is what I want to do. 2 of the books that I have, because I am a multi-release author. 2 of the books that I have, one is called Storm Survivors: 5 Ways to Navigate Through Grief and Loss. I want to sow this into Nadine. So if you get an opportunity to, I want you to send me a mailing address so I can send this to you and you can get this in the next couple of days. Storm Survivors, right? And you can actually, whoever's watching this, you can purchase that book on dhmusic.com on my website, dhmusic.com. And then for my amazing friend who has always inspired me in her own way because of her authenticity, I did not realize that you had a son. One of my more recent publications is a coloring book for children. It's called The Adventures of Daniel, the Dream Builder. And it encourages children to follow their dreams and to trust God with their dreams. And so when you, when you get a chance, I want you to send me your information. I want to send this to your son, to you, so you can give it to your son. It'll come with the crayons and everything. So my last words,
I love that.
Yeah. So my last words is, when you see good ground, sow into it so you can get a harvest that never ends. God bless you.
Thank you. That was really nice. I appreciate that.
Very,
Absolutely.
very nice. Yes, we have some really dope, amazing people in our platforms. I'm always grateful every week that we have just wonderful people. And today, another wonderful, amazing, God-fearing individual. So yes, I love it. Yes, praise God.
And it's so funny. I just wanted to make a note that, it's good that, I like the fact you sent me that book, because how I started writing is because I've endured a loss. So thank you for that.
Oh, wow. Wow. Look at that. That's awesome. Yep.
Yeah, look at God. Look at God. Yeah. Yes. Yeah. So if you all haven't caught on yet, there is a power of divine connection, right? Yeah. All of us have a story to share. All of us. And you don't know who you might be inspiring. You might be telling yourself, oh, nobody wants to hear my story, but that's not true, because somebody needs to hear your story. Sometimes people are stuck and they don't know how to pivot or get out, but hearing your story might help them, right? It might be like, oh yeah, Nadine did that. Oh yeah, Daniel did that. Oh yeah, Yessie did that. Let me try it. You just don't know until you try, but you have to be open to telling your story. And these are examples that we've shared today. We have Nadine, who's an author. We have DH, who's an author. They're open to tell their stories. If you are inspired, or if God is tugging at you to say, do this, do that, tell your story, I highly recommend that you should listen. Tell your story, because you just don't know who you're going to impact, right? And so with that in mind, you don't know. And so with that in mind, for those who want to find me and follow me, it's easy to go on Google, type in Yessie Rodriguez, and you'll pull me up. You'll see my website, yessierodriguez.com. You'll see the different things I've done and continue to do. Praise God. For those who are supporting Hoy En Día TV, thank you so much. We really appreciate your viewership, your support. Under the yessierodriguez.com website, there is a donate. So if your heart is telling you, hey, I want to donate a couple of bucks to Hoy En Día, hey, we welcome it with open arms, right? It helps us continue our mission to continue to tell and share these wonderful stories that we have here, because that's what we are here for. We're here for the community, para la comunidad, to positively educate, motivate, inspire, entertain the viewers and listeners of each and every episode, because we want to make sure that you are good, because we get it be lifing. It's not easy. No fácil. But I know what we have to say here definitely motivates and inspires somebody, because I know it always motivates me and inspires me too. So I'm just saying. But nevertheless, also for those who are serious about taking their acting and modeling and just want some personal growth and development, hey, I highly encourage you to sign up for Slay the Scene Academy. Go on my website, yessierodriguez.com. On the upper left-hand corner, you're going to see the drop-down for Slay the Scene. We have workshops coming up, which I'm truly excited about. And this is for people who want to be, because I have a good connection with them, industry individuals, and you just don't know who might be watching. So I'm just saying. All right, y'all. Well, like I always say, the sky is never the limit, because the galaxies are endless. So thank you so much for tuning in. Hasta pronto. See you later. Yes.